And look at him go. He could go all the way. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Say you will.
Shout it right now, baby.
Say you will.
Come on, come on.
Say you will.
Come on and shout.
Say you will.
Yeah.
Shout.
Buffalo's happening now.
Up to 716 Sports Blizzard, and today we will be talking about our thoughts on the Bills game versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, sir. We got the dub. We got home. We took home a victory today and feeling good, but there's a lot of thoughts on our minds, right? We got a lot to go over today. So let's get the show on the road, man. What do you want to start off with?
Well, I mean, in the first quarter, Arizona really kind of started to take it to us, and
yeah, you're right. They took it to us. It was a tough first quarter. I think they got a touchdown early.
Yeah, they scored the first points before
Yep.
before Buffalo kicked a field goal. Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo kicked field goal. And then
You're right, though. Buffalo kicked the field goal. And, yeah, it was a slow start for our defense. It took them a long time to really get going. And I feel like that could be a little bit of a concern. How do you feel about that, Robbie? It took our defense a long time to get going. What do you think?
Well, DeMar made a good tackle, a leg tackle on
Yes, he did.
one of the offensive players for Arizona.
Yep. You're right about that. Yeah, DeMar, I didn't think looked terrible out there. I think it was difficult for the whole team as a cohesive unit to really get going and to really find their footing today. I don't know why that was, though. I don't know what took them so long to really get going. They just couldn't find a rhythm. The zone just wasn't working. Kyler started to eat us apart. But then at halftime, we got the adjustments going, and things started to get better. So, yeah, was there any other defensive players you thought stood out for us, Robbie?
Well, Von Miller made a sack, and then
True.
And then Greg Russo, he went.
Yeah, Russo had a really good game today. Granted, it is not the best offensive line. That would be for the Cardinals. That's not the best offensive line, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, Russo, I felt like the pass rush overall looked pretty good. I really have no issues. I think especially at the end of that game, in the second half is when they really started to get going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
It just kind of felt like things were finally clicking in all aspects of the game at the end there. So it's exciting. It's
and
go ahead.
And here's my friend, Richard Rush, in the comments.
Richard. Hi, Richard. Good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Go Bills. We got a lot to talk about today, so.
I met him at the training camp when during the post-COVID when they were in Buffalo with
Oh,
Joe
you met him? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome. That's great, dude.
Yeah, he was with Joe. He was with Joe Miller and
Nice. Awesome. That's great, man. Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else do you want to go over? How do we feel about the offense?
Well, I mean, there were some ticky-tack penalties too in that game. So
yeah. And I think that goes both ways. I thought that there were multiple penalties where I'm like, oh, wow, that was called a penalty, but that wasn't. You know, and it kind of goes both ways. I think both teams kind of got really lucky with certain penalties. There was one that was kind of near the face mask of Josh Allen. And honestly, I don't think that should have been called a roughing the passer. It helped us set up a touchdown drive at the end of the first half, you know?
And then there was one on Torrance that was a penalty because he did grab the face mask there.
Yeah.
And that would have been a touchdown if he didn't.
I think you're right, yeah. But it was definitely weird, right? There are a lot of the refereeing, I think, wasn't great today. But sometimes that's just the nature of the beast, you know. It can't always be great or great refereeing, and sometimes that's just how it goes, you know. But I felt like there's a lot of holding calls. There was some pass interference that was kind of like at the end of the game. I think you could argue that pass to Greg Dortch was pass interference from it was Ingram, our rookie. You could argue that could have been called pass interference.
Yeah.
So it was a weird game, a lot of ticky-tacky refereeing, and I do agree. A lot of false starts. There was one, Spencer Brown barely moved his leg, and they called it. It is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, the result, it didn't affect the result that much because I do think the Bills were the more deserving team to win this game. How do you feel? Because I think a lot of people were like, oh, the Bills didn't deserve to win this game. But what do you think? I felt like they deserved it.
I mean, in the beginning, it was like a slow start. So.
Yep.
And.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And there's this person out there, you know. Like I was watching the game over at my grandma and grandpa's house. And like I think what the most was like those false starts.
Yeah, I agree with you. Go ahead.
Casper, I think, is in the comments.
Yep, let's take a look. What does he have to say? We're gonna have to get used to these kind of games. I agree with him. I think there's gonna be a lot of games where it's like, oh, it's gonna come down to the line. It's gonna be a little bit more stressful than in previous seasons where we've steamrolled past competition. It's going to be one of those seasons where our team and our offense, our roster, isn't as up to par as it has been in the past. So that's why I think Casper's right here. I do think we're going to start start getting used to these close games once we got to grind it out, figure out or find our foot later on in the game. So to me, I think he kind of nailed that. I think he kind of nailed that right on the head, in my opinion.
And Casper in the comments again says, especially because we gutted our offense and our defense.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of roster turnover this season. And he's right about that. A lot of new pieces on multiple sides of the ball, and especially losing some players to injury this before the season as well. But losing guys like Stephon Diggs, the receiving core is almost entirely new. It's difficult. It's difficult to adjust to that. But I think one thing I noticed from the offense was the distribution all around was nice. You know what I mean? I felt like everybody got their fair share of targets. No one was left out. What did you think? Was there a receiver to you that stood out today, Robbie?
Keon Coleman stood out a little bit.
You thought Keon Coleman did? Yeah. I didn't think he was anything spectacular today, but
did he get a touchdown? I think so.
No, he didn't. Mac Hollins got a touchdown.
Yeah, that's the one I missed. Darn it! Because I was I was outside walking my dog, and I heard my grandparents' neighbors going crazy, and I was like, oh no, did I just miss a touchdown? And
you did.
And then I heard Chris Brown on the radio, and I was like, oh crap.
Well, it is what it is, man, but yeah, Mac Hollins had a nice touchdown. It was a beautiful throw from Josh Allen. That's one of those, like, we kind of call it NFL open, where Mac Hollins wasn't, like, wide open, right? It was a tough catch, but Allen put it right on the money. Perfect, like, just slung it right in there, and it's like, that's our quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, that's a guy today I felt like Josh Allen put the team on his back. What do you think about that, Robbie?
I think he did too, especially like the one touchdown he scored.
Was it the one he ran it in?
The one he ran it in and fell on his hand or something.
Yep. I don't know if he broke his hand. I don't know what the diagnosis was on that, but he definitely it was something. We don't know what though.
But he came back in, so
he did. He came back in and he looked fine. It looked like nothing really happened.
And like they had Mitchell Trubisky on the sideline. I was like, okay, why is he like, Yeah,
a little scary, but we didn't really need to worry about Trubisky. He didn't get any snaps today.
I mean, I wish they'd bring up that guy from the practice squad and then send Mr. Trubisky down to the practice squad.
I have no idea who you're talking about. I don't know which player that is.
Mike White.
Oh, Mike White? Okay. Hey, I mean, maybe, right? Maybe Mike White could be. I mean, he's proven he can win some games, He won a couple in New York, where he looked solid. He's nothing special, but he's fine,
And he was in Miami too, I think.
He was.
And
Casper
Casper's in the comments again.
I don't think I saw really any standout players offensively, and I think that was kind of the point with the mass turnover. I do agree. I think Josh Allen was obviously the standout. Like there was no doubt about that, in my opinion. But none of the receivers looked particularly great today. I thought Keon Coleman looked solid. I thought he had some nice underneath catches. It seems like he's going to be kind of like a hitch route merchant almost. He's going to run a bunch of quick little hitch routes, curl routes, come back to the ball, and win that way. But he had a nice contested catch down the sideline as well. And it's like, wow, really showing the flashes of what he can do. And that's the reason why Josh Allen wanted to bring Keon Coleman in the first place. You know what I mean?
And right now, as you and I are live here, the Detroit Lions are playing against the
LA Rams?
against the Los Angeles Rams.
How's that
And
game going?
It is tied 3-3 right now in the second quarter with like 3 minutes left
All
in the
righty.
first half.
Okay.
But Detroit is driving right now, and they're on the goal line. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm trying to think defensively. I thought we really picked it up at the end of that game. In terms of
especially second half.
Yeah, the pass rush looked good. The receivers are finally getting covered. I guess a player I want to talk about on Arizona's side was Marvin Harrison. He had 1 catch for 4 yards today. Was that surprising to you at all?
Marvin Harrison Jr., you mean?
Yeah, for the Cardinals, the wide receiver they just drafted.
So he had 1 catch for
4 yards. That was it.
Well, I mean, they contained him. That was good.
Yeah, I think that says a lot about our secondary being pretty underrated. That's not an easy player to cover. Rasul Douglas kept them in check, and that proves he's a number 1 corner. I always thought he was, but he really stepped it up today. I thought Ingram looked pretty good. I don't know his first name, though. He was that rookie that got that pass breakup at the end today. What is his name? Let's search him up.
Yeah, go
Jamarcus
ahead.
Ingram.
Yeah.
Jamarcus Ingram is who it was. I thought he had a solid game. Made some plays out there, and sometimes you need those players that are just going to randomly step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but overall, I was pretty impressed with the way today ended up going, especially because, we kind of had to battle back. It wasn't a clear-cut win. It was, oh, wow, this is going to be a hard-fought victory,
Yeah, and like next week we play the Dolphins, right?
And it'll be prime time. It'll be against will it be in Miami, or is that going to be
It's in Miami.
Okay.
It's in Miami. 8:15 kickoff for the Bills. And so do you, so would you want to come on next Saturday and talk about it?
Absolutely I would. But yeah, today I think trying to think of like some other standout players, but honestly, I feel like this season's just gonna be the Josh Allen show. I think that's kind of what today proved, is that the season's going to revolve around how far Josh Allen's going to take us. I really don't have many other takeaways from this game outside of Josh is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and it was nice to see the team put it all together in the second half. Are you wearing his jersey today? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it, dude. I freaking love it.
But I'm not gonna what's his name? James Cook. He showed out a little bit.
Yeah, I thought James Cook looked solid today. I think I was also pretty impressed with Ray Davis. I thought Davis had some good. Ray Davis had some good plays. He had some good catches, some good runs.
And Ty Johnson was out there. today
Yeah,
too.
Ty Johnson got his fair share of carries, and he's kind of stuck around as like a third running back, a change of pace type of guy. And honestly, I've liked Ty Johnson ever since he's been here for the past few years. He's looked fine. You know, he's looks like a capable running back. What did you think about him, Robbie?
What I couldn't really tell who was who out there except for
Yeah,
James Cook.
right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
And
but I thought. Go ahead.
and that kickoff return for touchdown.
Yep.
Who did that?
That was DJ Dallas for the Arizona Cardinals. He's kind of stuck around as like a special teamer. You know, he's a running back. He's nothing special, but he's stuck around.
Yeah, what happened on that kickoff return for the touchdown?
I can't tell you. I really can't. That was a rough look for that was a rough look, you know. But sometimes that just happens. I don't know if it was. And I thought, especially one of the announcers was talking about how from that side of the field, there was a kickoff return every single time, and it's because he was kicking into the wind. That's why the wind was a big factor in today's game, and that's why DJ Dallas had room to run. You know. But yeah, I mean, from even then at the end of the game, Tyler Bass tried to do a line drive and it got kicked out of bounds, you know?
Yeah.
Which was a really like, man, the special teams has got to put it together because it just wasn't a great look today.
And then they had like the extra 12th man to hold the ball because of the wind.
Yeah, which very abnormal, something you don't see very often. And it's something we're not going to see very often, I don't think. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and the wind was kind of crazy today. But I really have nothing else to say about that. But the special teams was you know. But even then, it was last year was kind of also. It wasn't that great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of.
And I thought, what do you think about Tyler Bass, dude? What do you think about him?
Well, I think today, like, I mean, he made all his kicks.
He made all his kicks. Yep, you're right. He looked fine. It was just
here's Richard Rush again in the comments. He goes, "You'll see it more in Buffalo with the wind."
He's right. Yeah, he's right. We're gonna see a lot of wind. The weather is going to affect how each game goes. You know, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast when you're playing in Buffalo. Really don't have much else to say about that. But he's right. You know.
I mean, I'm hoping to get out there more, like with the content and everything, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, like meet some of the fans and the
Absolutely meet some new people. You know, it'll be fun.
yeah, and
Go ahead.
like going into the Thursday game against Miami, it's on a short week.
Yep, true.
So
That's something we got to worry about, figure out. But yeah, I mean, Miami today, they won. They had a hard-fought game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was tough win, but I think Miami's a very beatable team. Especially Josh Allen. Josh Allen just kind of has Miami's number. You know what I mean? He plays mostly his best football has come against the Miami Dolphins. The only game where it really hasn't was that one playoff game against Skylar Thompson. That was really it, but that's a team we're going to have to worry about. I think today we showed our cards a little bit in terms of what the team's going to look like moving forward, the type of game plan we're going to be running. And I think we're going to have to adjust for Miami because it's a high-flying offense, and it's not going to be an easy game.
Do you think like Tua, we're going to have to worry about him? Like scrambling, like kind of like Kyler Murray did today?
No, not as much. And Kyler Murray is just a better athlete than Tua is. Tua kind of plays the role of a quick hitting quarterback where he's just gonna throw it quick. He has a beautiful release. He throws with probably the best anticipation in the league. Like the way he sees routes develop and can put it in a place before anyone would even be able to see it is incredible. It's just what makes Tua an interesting quarterback. He's not without his flaws, but I don't think Tua specifically is. I don't think we have to worry about him in terms of scrambling, but we will have to worry about the quick hitting passes. What do you think?
Do you think do you think we'll have to worry about like Tyreek Hill or any of the running backs?
I do think we'll have to worry a lot about Tyreek Hill. He is he might be one of the best receivers I've ever seen play the game. Honestly, might be the best at this point. And I don't think that's particularly crazy to say. He is a special talent. He's going to be difficult because we don't particularly have great speed in our secondary. Guys like Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford, they're not the fastest players in the league. They're good, right? They're really good players, but they're not fast. And it's going to be hard to game plan for a guy like Tyreek Hill. Not many teams can contain him. He barely has a bad game. He's just a special player like that. So I think he's going to be a player that we got to watch out for. But yeah, the running backs, I think we'll have to watch out for Devon Achane. Raheem Mostert didn't do much today against Jacksonville, but Achane was really good in the receiving game. So that's another player we got to watch out for because he is fast. Achane's a very fast player. And that's what Miami has built their offense on is speed. Everyone besides the quarterback, Tua, who's not very fast, everyone besides him. But even then, Tua is able to throw the ball so fast, it's like it makes up for everything. We really got to worry about the speed, and with our defense, we'll see how it goes without a guy like Milano controlling the defense. You know what I mean? So how do you feel going into our game against Miami?
Going into Miami next week.
Yeah.
Given our traditional
Yep.
issues with containing runs and our newer defense, I'd say Miami's run game is gonna be real tricky. That is Nate Kasperwitz from.
I think he's right. I think he's right. I think it's going to be difficult to contain that run defense. I think he's right about that, or that run offense rather. And we'll see how it goes, but it's going to be difficult, I think. They have really good running backs. Mostert is incredible. Achan's incredible. Even Jeff Wilson can get in there and kind of be a change of pace because he's not that fast. So it'll be interesting to see how this season goes, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited for their next game, and I think there's a lot to look forward to. And today was a fun game. It was a fun victory, and it was nice to see the guys rally back after a tough start to the game. So anything else you wanted to add, Robbie, or you feel like we're all good?
Do you want to do a quick score prediction before we end the show?
Sounds great. Yeah, let's do it. So go
yeah,
ahead. I'll let you go first.
I'll let you go first, and
I'll go first. I'm gonna say it's going to be. I will go 30-20. Buffalo Bills win. I think the Bills are going to come out and have a really good day offensively.
I'll do mine. I'm gonna say like 30-24 Bills.
Yeah, sure. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm excited to see how it goes. And yeah, I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited for it. So, any final thoughts, or you think we're good to go?
If my friend Richard writes in the comments, if you can put your score prediction in, and then also I think like the defensive calling in the second half looked a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Totally agree with that. Yeah. I mean, there's not much else to add. The defensive calling looked a lot better in that second half. So we got to see a lot of really good. We got to see some good plays out there. So, anything else, or you feel good?
There's
Richard's score prediction.
There it is. 28-24 Buffalo.
I think that's a good score prediction. I like it.
I like that one too, because it's close, and I think it's going to be another one of those close games. And as we get into the end of the show, and we are going into halftime with the Detroit Lions leading the LA Rams 10-3, and the Lions are getting the ball out of the half.
Alrighty. Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm good to go if you are. It was a great show today, and any final thoughts?
Go Bills.
Go Bills, baby. Go Bills.